Hello everybody. Today in this session we will be discussing chapter 10, and this is the last chapter of your business studies. Now the name of this chapter is international trade. Now in chapter 9 we have seen that what is meant by internal trade. So international trade is nothing but trade taking place between different countries. Now in this chapter we will discuss this meaning, difference between internal trade and external trade, their characteristics, then problems of international trade. Just because of this lockdown and all, other topics from this chapter have been removed by the council. Okay, now let us start this chapter. Now why do you need to learn this chapter? International business is carried beyond the boundaries of the domestic territory of the country. It involves some rules and regulations. Obviously everything in this world is regulated by some rules, so even international business is they also have some rules and regulation. It is also not easy to undertake the knowledge of various aspects of international trade, so this chapter will help you to learn some basic ideas or basic concept that is related with international trade. Now let us see the introduction first. It is an accepted fact that our needs are endless and that our wants are endless and multiplying day by day, whereas our resources are scarce, and that too being eaten up by the exploding population. Now this is the problem everywhere. Our wants are endless or indefinite, but our resources are very scarce. It is worldwide problem, so it should be solved with mutual discussion, cooperation and mutual help. Now how we are going to overcome this problem lies in how our economy is working. The nature has been kind to bless every country with something plus, and at the same time unkind to thrust upon something minus. That this sentence means that some countries they have something which other countries want, but that other country they are deprived of the chance. Okay, the necessity for exchanging minus points with plus points is responsible for the emergence of foreign trade, and that is the reason why international trade was developed. Means suppose if a particular resource we have in India and America wants it but they don't have that resource, then what they will do is that they will simply just exchange it with India. Okay, so in that manner America will have the resource which India has and which America wants. Now foreign trade is purchase and sale of goods with profit motive between two countries. Now this is the very simple and basic definition or meaning of foreign trade. Purchasers and sellers belong to two different countries and the payment is made in foreign currency. Means suppose if a trade is taking place between India and UK, then the currency or the money in which they will make payment is foreign currency. We cannot make payment in Indian rupee. Okay, so foreign trade is categorized as import and export. Now foreign trade, it is divided into import and export. Now what is import? It is acquiring goods from abroad for sale with a profit motive. Suppose if I am a businesswoman and I have imported some goods from America to sell it in this country, then it is nothing but known as import, because I am bringing goods inside the country from another country for resale purpose with profit motive. But at the same time, when I sell goods to some person or some buyer in another country, that is known as export. Okay, trade is classified as internal and external trade. As we have seen in previous chapter, that trade is divided into two parts. First is internal, that takes place within the national boundary, and external trade that takes place between two different countries. Purchase and sale of goods within the country is internal and outside the country is external. The difference between two is given in this box, then you can give it a reading. Now there are some definitions given of international business given by different personalities. You can read it. Now let us see what is the nature of international trade. First is it is carried on between two different countries. If the trade is not between two different countries, if it is within one country, then it is internal trade. But international business, it have to be between two countries. Then payment in the international business is made in foreign currency. It is not made the payment is not made in national currency. Like if a trade is taking place between India and America, then the payment cannot be done in rupee. We have to make payment in foreign currency. Then international business is classified as imports and exports, as we all know, and for doing import and export, license is required. Means without license you cannot import, neither you can export goods from the country. Then next is transportation. It takes place usually normally by ships and aeroplane. There is hardly any road transportation, okay, in international business. The next is foreign exchange is required, means we need foreign currency in case of international business. Then excess of exports over imports results in favorable balance of trade. Now favorable balance of trade means that there is favorable point towards us, and this happens when we export more and import less. That means we are selling more and we are buying less. That means we are having favorable chances. So that is nothing but known as favorable balance of trade. This you will learn in detail in economics when you will learn about balance of payment, balance of trade and all this, okay. But for the time being, you just keep in mind that excess of exports over imports is nothing but favorable balance of trade, which is in good interest of the country. Then the next nature is the policy of export promotion and import substitution is desired objective. Now the main motive behind international business is nothing but to promote export and to produce goods which can substitute imported goods, okay. So we will have self-dependency, as well as we will be exporting, we will be selling outside the country, which will benefit the country. Then the last is international business is wider term, which includes trade and production of goods and services across frontiers. Means international business is not, it doesn't mean only trade, it doesn't mean only sale and purchase. It includes production of goods and services as well, because some companies, Indian companies, they might have their branches outside India as well. Now international travel and tourism, transportation, communication, banking, warehousing, distribution and advertising have considerably grown. Production and working of goods and services and foreign investment have considerably increased. Now we know that international business is beneficial to both the importing and exporting countries, because while importing we will get those resources or those products which we cannot manufacture in our own country, and while exporting goods we will sell goods to other countries, which will help in earning profit. This is why it has been expanding and flourishing, and this is the reason why international business is growing day by day. At present, it has assumed globalization. Globalization means all the countries are treated as one market where anyone can purchase from anyone and anyone can sell to anyone. It is beneficial to the trading nations and the firms also. Now let us see what are the benefits or advantages to nations from this international business. Now first one is foreign exchange earning. The international business helps in earning foreign exchange by exporting goods and services. Now when we sell goods to another country, it will help us to earn foreign exchange, means their foreign currency. The hard-earned foreign exchange can be utilized for the imports of rare commodities, capital goods, technology, petroleum product and fertilizers. Now through export, whatever foreign exchange we are earning, that can help us in buying or importing goods which we cannot produce in our own country. Like capital goods, we know that India is not that much technologically advanced as compared to America. Then petroleum product and fertilizers, okay. Now next one is more efficient use of resources. As we know that the international business operates on the principle that produce what your country can produce more efficiently and procure what others can produce more efficiently. Now suppose if we don't have let's take a real life example, okay. In India we hardly have petroleum products, okay. We hardly have enough petroleum products to satisfy the petroleum needs of the population. So what India does is that they used to purchase or import petroleum product from other countries. So just but still we have some petroleum sources in our country, but to recover those products, it takes a lot of amount of money as well as resources. So instead of investing huge amount of resources while extracting petroleum product from our own country, we can buy it at a cheaper rate from another countries. So that is the reason why international business have been expanding, because we can easily procure goods which we cannot produce for our own self, and we can simply export those goods which we are able to produce efficiently as compared to other countries, and in this manner resources are being used efficiently by all the countries. Then next is improving growth prospect. Producing goods only for the domestic requirements restricts the growth prospect of the industry, because suppose if we are producing enough more goods than what is needed or what is demanded in the market, then it is nothing but loss or waste of the resources. But if we sell those products outside the country, then it will help our economy to grow. The production to meet the international demands of the goods open wide field of production, expansion and growth. Then next one is improving employment potential. The production of goods for the global market enhances size of the business considerably. Means a business which exports goods to other countries, they will surely develop, and with the development and expansion of the business, there will be increase in the employment needs also. So production for domestic market, they only restricts the employment opportunities, because the companies, they will manufacture only those goods which are demanded in the country. So if they have more demand, then there will be more chances of employment. The next is improvement in the standard of living. Now this international business helps in improving our standard of living as well. The international business has created such a situation that we can use the different products produced in different countries in our own city, at our house. The imported products are generally superior in quality. Now the most of the things that we import from other countries, they are of superior quality than our domestic production, and since we are using imported goods, it kind of increases or improves our standard of living. Now let us see what are the benefits of or advantages to firm. Prospects of higher profit, means since the market will increase, means the target market, if let's take example, if your business is confined to a particular place, then you will have means like an average amount, you will earn average amount of profit. But if your market area increases, then there is high chances of getting more profit. So just focusing in one country will give you less amount of profit. If you are selling goods to other countries, to numerous countries, then your profit earning will be also higher. Then next is maximum utilization of capacity. The international business increases the demands of the product, so the producers can utilize their available capacities in the best possible manner. It results in reduction of cost and increases profit. Now the international business, it helps in increasing the demand of the product. So the producer, what they will do is that they will try to utilize their available capacity, and they will try to increase their production with that resources. So in that case, the capacity or the resources that the producer already have, they will utilize it at the maximum. Okay. Then the next is growth prospects. Increasing demand activates the enterprise to produce more and more, because just because the demand is increasing, the enterprises, they feel motivated to produce more and more. They try to capture overseas market, means they try to compete with the other companies in international market, and while doing that, it helps them in growing their business. The next is way out to intense competition in the domestic market. In case of tough competition in the domestic market, the international business drives the competitive firms to external trade, which is more beneficial. Now when international companies, they come in a country and they try to compete with the domestic companies, the domestic company, what they do is that instead of focusing only in the domestic market, they try to go out in different markets, external they look up to the external trade. Now one thing you will agree that until and unless there is not competition, then there is no prospect of growing. Okay, so when you see there is competition in your class, then you will try to improve yourself, you will try hard, you will read more. Okay, so like in similar manner in business also, if in competition increases, then the individual companies, they try to develop or they try to grow their business. Okay, then the next one is improved business vision. The international business is the result of business policies of the firm. The urge to grow creates the vision to become larger in size and assume global status. Now every business, they have a vision, they have an objective to grow more. With international business, the companies, they try to look into the bigger picture and they try to increase their business in size, as well as they try to get status in the global market as well. Now let us see what are the problems and complexities in international trade. Now first one is distance. Distance is one of the major concerns in international trade. It becomes difficult to establish a quick and close trade contacts between different countries. Buyers and sellers rarely see each other, and it involves a lot of time between placement of order and receipt of goods from foreign countries. Now when you see in domestic country, within a country, when you order some goods, it takes a few days to reach you. So imagine in international business, it will take a lot of time, and sometimes the buyer and seller, they don't know each other because they are situated in two different countries. So international trade, it involves great deal of risk as well as uncertainty. Then there is again problem of language. Different countries have different languages, we know that, which creates another hindrance in international trade. Advertisement, quotations, etc. are generally communicated in domestic language. Now suppose in India, if you are advertising, then you can advertise it in Hindi or any regional language, English. Okay, but when you go to other countries like South Africa, then they will have their own native language, and if you want to advertise about your own brand, then you have to make another advertisements means in their own domestic language. So that is another problem. A trader wishing to trade abroad must know the foreign language or has to employ someone for this purpose. Suppose if you don't know the language of Urdu, then you cannot carry on business in Pakistan. You have to hire someone who knows that language, or you have to understand, or you have to learn their language. Then there is problem in transportation. Dispatching goods and receiving them involves a lot of expenses, because means you have to send goods from one country to another, so you have to incur a lot of expenses. During the face of natural calamities and wars, international trade becomes more difficult. Suppose if you are running a business in Pakistan, and if there is any conflict or war declared between India and Pakistan, then your business will suffer a lot. Okay, and the cost of sending and receiving goods become very higher, because you have to spend extra money for sending goods to Pakistan or purchasing goods from Pakistan. Then risk involved in transit. International trade becomes more risky when the goods travel long distances, especially through sea. Sometimes you might have heard in the news that some ship, or they have sank or have become lost or something like that. So sending means transportation of goods from one country to another, it has some risk. Okay, at this time, marine insurance is the only alternative for the trader, which makes the international trade very costly. So again, if you go for marine insurance, then that also it will be costly. Then next we have documentation. Both exporters as well as importers are supposed to prepare a lot of documents, which requires a lot of cost and efforts. There is need for a lot of documentation in order to follow export and import procedure. Now we know that you have to get license for exporting and importing, so there is a lot of documentation as well. Then next is market changes. International trade is subject to market trends and change in demand for various goods and services in foreign market. It becomes very difficult to anticipate currency fluctuations. Now these are the problems you will face while doing business in internationally. Okay, you cannot predict the foreign market, you cannot predict the political decisions taken by the party over there. Okay, then there is again problem of different currencies. The rate at which currency of one country can be traded or exchanged for another country is called foreign exchange rate. Changes in exchange rate occurs frequently, which creates a great risk in foreign trade. Payments in foreign trade involves much time and expense. Moreover, the time lag between order and delivery is long, hence there is always a risk of bad debts. Means if you are doing a business with another country, then the currency at which both the countries are dealing is nothing but known as foreign exchange rate, and we all know that the value of different currencies are different. Okay, $1 is not equal to 1 rupee. So fluctuation in this exchange rate is another poses great risk in foreign trade. Then next is the competition. International trade poses intense competition. First you have to compete with your domestic companies, and then when you go for international trade, then you have to compete with international companies coming from different countries. So there is a high competition in the market. A trader wishing to operate in international market has to analyze the strategy of competitors and market trends. It involves heavy expenditure. Selling and advertising cost is quite heavy, which has to be incurred by a given in order to survive in the market. So these are the problems which a company faces while doing international trade. So with this we have finished chapter 10, and with this your business studies syllabus is over. So for this session we will wind up here. Thank you.